Good morning. So Bubba asked me to do this quick video showing everybody how to tie the 1/0 wool minnow using his body wool that he sells. So pretty simple. It's a 1/0 B10S hook. Really a great universal hook. They can be used in fresh water, salt water. I mean, some guys will complain, but it's a good black hook. So we're going to dress the hook about 2/3 of the way down. And then we're going to grab a little bit of lead. So we've switched to these lead strips. You can get them at Bass Pro Shops or anywhere online. They're made by, I think, Storm. But they're made to suspend crankbaits. But it's a great little contained little lead strip that lays in here nice and even around the shank of the hook. So I'm just going to wrap that around there over my thread wraps. And then I'm going to put a little bump behind it. And then I'm going to come in front here and put a little bump in front of it. Just keep it from moving. And I'm going to come on top of it. And I'm going to do some nice tight thread wraps over that lead. Just, I don't know. It probably doesn't need them. It ain't going to go anywhere. We'll drop a little bit of Loctite on everything. Make sure it definitely isn't going to go anywhere. The fly is perfect if it's got enough super glue. Get back up on top. Just hide that a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of just green crystal flash for the tail. Just a little piece, not a whole lot. There you go. It's tied in midway. We can trim it later. We're just going to try and get us a little bit of crystal flash back there. Trim it out just a little bit long. That's way too long than the wool. So now we're going to take our first piece of wool. So this is wool body material. Bradley imports this wool and we blend it ourselves. We blend it with ice dub. We use brand name dubbing for most everything. The hairline dubbing, it's just kinky and it matches the wool really well. So the shape of the wool is very kinky and coarse, and the hairline, the ice dub, kind of matches that really well. So we're just going to take the two pieces. It's about equal amount. You can go a little less on the ice dub. You know, this is for my box, so it's going to be flashy. And we're just going to pull it and try and get all those fibers straightened out as much as we can. It's never going to be perfect, but when you comb it at the end, they will come apart. So we're just going to pull it all straight and then just lay it over the top of the hook, trying to cover. Make sure you got it all the way around. And then we'll just get a couple of loose wraps and pull them tight. And then take a little bit of Loctite on your thread. Just a bead, just a drop. And then get it around there. So then we'll fluff this out and push it back. Come in front of it. And I try to capture some of that wool to contain it and to keep it from slipping back ever. So I try to contain it. And then you can always just add another little drop there. That'll make a nice little brick behind your lead that gives you your tail segment. So now you can trim this if you want, however you want, you know. There, close enough. Okay, so now you can take this section. We're going to build this a little dubbing loop. Don't need to be huge. I'm going to take just a little bit of that minty green wool. This doesn't have any flash in it or nothing, but this is just underbody. Now you can just leave this thread if you want, and you'll never see it. I put it in there, I don't know, because I'm showing you guys, I guess. Half the time I do it, half the time I don't. I know Bradley does it every time. He thinks it looks nicer. I don't know. I don't think you ever see it. That was way too long. Spin that up a minute. It's going to be a loose spin. But the loon dubbing spinner is great. So just tighten that up a little bit, and then we're just going to wrap forward. And we're just hiding that lead, bringing it forward. Okay. that locked off, cut out. Now you can take your little dubbing brush and really fluff that thing up. Okay. Ow. Those hooks are sharp. Okay, so now we're gonna grab just a little bit more of our green, our minty green. We're gonna do a bluegill, so. And a little bit more of our ice dub. Where'd I put it? There it is, sorry. It's around here somewhere. Okay, so we're just gonna mix it. And this is a really kind of a light, about half of what we did the tail. This is just kind of a filler piece, and it adds a little bit of overbody, I guess, to that midsection. And we're just gonna do a couple of wraps. Once again, each one of these stacks is what I consider. This is more like stacking deer hair to me, this wool. So we just get a couple of, you can see just a couple of beads of, and that's just gonna wet that thread right there and make it permanent. It ain't coming apart. And we're just gonna sweep this back over the main body, try not to put the hook in your finger again. And once again, I'm trapping that little piece, just a little amount, and then I'm gonna come all the way forward to just a little shy of my eye. So I'm gonna put a little bit of super glue on for that. And then we are gonna go and change our color. So now, for the back, since this is gonna be a bluegill, we're gonna go with this little bit of dark green. It's kind of a mossy green. So I'm gonna pull it out a little bit, and then for the mix-in for that, we're gonna use the peacock ice dub, because it just really stands out nice in that green. So don't use too much. And like I said, once again, I'm just gonna pull all the fibers, mix in the dubbing into the wool, get it all nice and as neat as I can. And there we go. So you can kind of pinch it together with your fingers and twist, and it'll give you a nice stack. And you just go right on top of the hook with that one. Okay. And then we'll make sure you got it spread out about halfway. It's pretty forgiving. I mean, it's pretty buffy stuff. So now we're gonna get our belly. So we want some orange wool with some orange ice dub. Like I said, I like the ice dub because the kinky fibers really match the wool really well. So we don't need that much wool. So we're just doing that little orange belly throat part, and then sometimes this stuff gets kinked together and you really got to work it to get it pulled apart, but it's felting itself, literally. It's called the felt. So now we're just going to pinch this one on the bottom and pull it back up. That's the beauty of this stuff, is you can just grab it. I mean, it's strong. And then just basically you end up with, Bubba calls it the butterfly of wool. We just get this one to the front, and we get a couple of wraps in the back here, and same thing we did in the front. We'll put a couple of drops of glue on these thread lines in here, just to get a little bit of saturation of that. So now I'm going to spread these wings out and fold them back, and we're going to try and pull that thread up right through the middle of it. And if you split it good enough on the bottom, it's not bad. And we'll just get a couple of wraps in front here and a whip finish. Okay, find my scissors. There we go. So I just take just a small amount of Loon head cement, the liquid head cement, the water-based. So I like the water-based for this because it soaks into the fibers a little bit better. The clear stuff is great, but this just gets into the, so I'm just gonna soak that head and then take off the excess. That wool will soak up some of that, and it firms the head up a little bit, and it really locks everything together. So now we got to comb this thing out and tame the beast. So my preferred comb, it's an old lice comb I found from a cousin of mine. It's great though, because it's got the coarse side, so we can really pick this thing apart and get all the fibers separated and the clumps kind of pulled outward away from the hook shank. Okay, and we can come in with the fine side and really straighten those fibers out. Try not to bang on that hook point too much. And you can really get in there, and you can really wrinkle on this stuff and get every knot out if you want to. I tend to do that right there. Okay, so now it needs eyes. So we got our sheet of eyes right back here. Get a couple of them off of it. Just 6mm red eyes. We buy them in bulk. Any other tires want them, contact us. We actually get a really good price on those. So to glue on the eyes, we use Gorilla Glue Clear. It's the best thing. I mean, we use this on pretty much every fly we use or we tie that gets glued on eyes. It doesn't mess up the outside surface of the eye, so if you get it on the eye, it ain't gonna hurt it. And it really sticks well to fibers like EP fiber. So we're gonna put this one on here so you can see we got it right there. And if you get a little bit on the outside of the eye, don't worry about it. It'll peel off once it's dry. You just peel it off like silicone. But man, it holds eyes on like crazy. So we're getting this second one on. We'll try and line them up here. And the real thing is to make sure that you get it pressed into the fiber so that glue really wraps around a few of those wool fibers, and these eyes stay on forever. So you can see I got a little bit of glue on that one. I'll just take my bodkin here, and it just, I should let it dry first. You see it just scrapes off. So that's the beauty of the Gorilla Glue. I mean, we use it for everything. Put it back in his drawer. So there you have a wool bluegill, one on. You can trim some of the extra hairy fibers. I tend to just twist the tail, and it really kind of keeps its profile. It's kind of holding it together. So that's the wool bluegill. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna try and do more of these tying videos. My health, it doesn't allow me to do a lot of them. To sit down like this and tie anymore is not easy for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you.